Hey, Lakers fans, Harrison Graham here. If you want Damian Lillard in Los Angeles, all you got to do is like this video. Hey, he might request a trade. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll discuss it further in just a sec. But hey, you want Dame time in Staples? Let's make it happen. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get 500 plus likes on today's show. Today's Lakers Report is sponsored by Magic Spoon, and hey, get rid of that mainstream cereal in your life because it's fattening, and honestly, Magic Spoon tastes better anyways with 0 grams of sugar. Go to magicspoon.com/Lakers. Get $5 off your first order with Magic Spoon. Let's talk Damian Lillard here on the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, and hey, a trade could be on the table for some teams in the NBA. Maybe, just maybe, the Lakers could get in the mix as well. The report is that there's some backlash from Lillard's camp. They did not love how the head coach hiring process went in Portland. He wanted Jason Kidd. Kidd pulled out. They end up with Chauncey Billups, and that could lead to a trade. That one coming from Chris Haynes. Also, The Athletic mentioned last week that Damian Lillard is feeling a sense of urgency to win and to win right now. Now, we know Dame has been very loyal. He's been with Portland his entire career, but he's kind of been indirectly linked to the Lakers for quite a while now. We'll explain later on in the show. Chris Haynes had this to say on this very topic: the enormous backlash from the Trailblazers' process to hire a new coach and his concerns on whether a championship contender can be built have become factors that might push the franchise player, Damian Lillard, out the door, league sources told Yahoo Sports. Lillard has remained loyal to Portland in a large part due to the tremendous fan base, but over the last few days, he's seen some of those same fans attacking him on social media for a pending coaching hire that has played no part in consummating, sources said. I think it's time for Dame to get out. I appreciate the loyalty more than anyone. Kobe Bryant was one of the more loyal players of all time. But even Laker Nation knows that in that 07 range, Kobe kind of wanted out of L.A. briefly. Now, obviously, he stayed. Things worked out beautifully. He won a few more titles. But I think in Dame's case, he's been loyal to a fault up to this point in Portland. He ain't winning a title there. So if he wants to win a title, a team like the Lakers makes a whole lot of sense to try and force his way to playing with LeBron James. So, simple trade idea. Make the math work. I don't think you can trade for Damian Lillard without trading Anthony Davis unless a third team is involved. So, Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons to L.A. in return for Anthony Davis and Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma's a better player than Simons, but I think even though he's a little bit older, I would make a strong argument that Lillard has more trade value than Anthony Davis does at this point in time. Let's hear them from you guys. What would you have your trade ideas be for Damian Lillard? Send in your best trade ideas down in the comments. Throw some 3-team trade ideas in there as well. I'm not opposed to trying to keep AD. That would be the best case scenario for LA, to keep AD, LeBron, and get Damian Lillard. But let us know what your Dame trade ideas are down in the comments. Now, there's a couple of other notes here. Dennis Schroeder probably not going to be back. He turned down $80 million, and then he sucked in the playoffs, so don't think he's going to be back. Alex Caruso set to be a free agent as well. Dame has said before that he would want to play for the Lakers if he wasn't in Portland. Now, he casually mentioned this in a Twitter back and forth several years ago. This was back in 2017. Some rando, he talks to people all the time on Twitter saying, where would you play if it wasn't the Blazers? He said, if the Blazers didn't want me, Utah Jazz or the Lakers. So that's interesting to mention the Lakers directly a few years ago in the way that he did. Now, Dame has also been on the record of, hey, I don't want to go chase titles via super team. So obviously this would kind of be a change of heart there. But hey, you're remembered by your titles, man. No one remembers Charles Barkley the same way they remember Shaq. Well, Chuck is arguably had as good of a career as Shaq. You know why they don't, though? Guy didn't win titles. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, and Damian Lillard knows that better than anyone. He knows he's going to Canton. He's going to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I was referring to the Football Hall of Fame there, but at the end of the day, he wants to win titles, and he's 31 years old. He's going to be 31 this upcoming season, so the time is now. The clock's ticking on Dame while he's in his prime to chase some rings, and to do it with the Lakers would be absolutely fantastic with LeBron James. Now, Obviously, it would hurt to have to lose Anthony Davis, but the injuries have piled up on AD. He didn't play as well this year to begin with as well. I think I would be comfortable trading Anthony Davis if that meant I got Damian Lillard in return. Obviously, again, the best case scenario is have all three, big three. That would be maybe the best big three we've seen since this big three era began several years ago with LeBron down in South Beach with D-Wade and Chris Bosh. This is a storyline to follow, and we'll continue to follow it here on the Lakers Report. Would you trade Anthony Davis for Damian Lillard? Be honest. Type T for trade, type P for pass. I would. It wouldn't be easy, but it's something that I would do. Let us know if you guys would do that as well. T for trade, P for pass. Get your votes in. And we told you guys the Lakers Report is presented by Magic Spoon. Tons of delicious cereal available for you guys at magicspoon.com/Lakers. And guys, the benefits of this cereal is amazing. There's a reason one of their taglines is childlike cereal for grown-ups. Why? You see the notes above. 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, only 4 grams of net carbs. So for you folks who are, getting a little bit older in age like I am and can't consume all that sugar that mainstream cereals have, get Magic Spoon because you can't even notice that there's no sugar. It's just as delicious. Tons of different flavors are available for you guys. I showed you guys the peanut butter flavor, but if you like cocoa, we've got raspberry, frosted, cinnamon, all kinds of different flavors available for you guys as we kind of cycle through them for you guys. That one's the cocoa right there. Absolutely delicious. 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and on average, only 140 calories per serving. This cereal is delicious, it's healthy, and you wouldn't even notice that it is healthy, which is a great, great thing if you're a picky eater like me. Usually healthy foods don't taste good. This is not the case here. MagicSpoon.com/Lakers. Get $5 off your first order. Let's talk Frank Vogel here on the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. And is an extension coming? Well, apparently in April, a couple of months ago, Adrian Wojnarowski had reported, hey, an extension expected to come this summer. He's obviously done great things, won a title last year. Obviously, the Lakers fell short this year, but injuries were the primary reason there. I don't think there's any question that Frank Vogel is the right man for the job at this point in time. But you fast forward a couple of months, 2.5 months, there's not really a lot of chatter. There hasn't been a lot of extension talks, at least publicly, at this point in time. I think this is a little puzzling. Like, what's going on with Frank Vogel and this coaching staff? Because an issue you're going to run into is assistant coaches are going to be like, hey, we got a coach who's a lame duck right now, only has a year or two left on his contract. Why has the Lakers not signed him to an extension? If I get an opportunity elsewhere, I'm going to take it, a la Jason Kidd. Now, obviously, that was for a head coaching job, but there are some assistants on the staff that could land elsewhere, maybe in a more secure situation than the Lakers if Vogel isn't extended. Now, Kyle Goon of the Southern California News Group dropped this quote that we wanted to report to you guys. While ESPN reported shortly after the season ended that the Lakers plan to engage Vogel on extension discussions, and most expect Vogel will return with a new deal before next season, it has surprised some within the organization that the coach hasn't received that deal already. The Lakers have such ambition on their staff as a healthy coaching ecosystem would call for. But given that the franchise has yet to announce an extension with Vogel, it might make other teams more confident that they can poach his staff, which remained intact last season after the championship. Well, which is a good point there. They were able to keep everybody from last season. Also, he had this to say as well. With multiple hires in the last week alone, several people familiar with the coaching market who spoke to Southern California News Group expect the hiring pace will begin to pick up for head coaches and assistants alike in the coming week. Just extend Vogel already. Like, clear this up. Like, this should not be a situation right now. Now, after Jason Kidd, there weren't exactly a ton of coaches on this staff that teams are just going to be clamoring for. Lionel Hollins has value as an assistant, but he's not going to get a head coaching job at this point. I think Phil Handy's just happy to be on the staff. Now, Miles Simon is a guy that people are high on. He interviewed, I believe, for the University of Arizona job a few years ago. He was in the mix there, so keep that in mind as well. But you still don't want to lose assistants elsewhere, because then you got to go hire more people. So extend Vogel. Tell your assistant staff, hey, we're good to go. Let's go play some hoops for 2021. 2021 and 2022, and we can focus on free agency and, of course, the draft this offseason. So that's kind of the latest, and the latest is there's not really a ton of public movement there. Now, sure, there could be stuff happening behind the scenes, but it doesn't really sound like that is the case when it comes to a potential Frank Vogel extension. What is your concern level with Frank Vogel extension talks at this point in time? 1 being no concern at all, this isn't even a story. 10 being this is really bad, he might just go coach someone else. I mean, I meant like a 4, but a 4 is higher than it should be. It should be 0. You shouldn't have any concern at this point in time. So get your votes in, scale it from 1 to 10. You see that link below, youtube.com/LakersTV? That is the subscribe link to this YouTube channel. Go over there, hit that subscribe button, or you can just hit that sub button. It's right below the video right here in big red letters. Let's continue to grow. 40,000 subscribers is just around the corner. Myself, Chase Sr., sometimes Tom Downey. We're going to keep you guys up to date with the latest Lakers news, rumors, free agency, and draft coverage all off season long. Don't miss any of it. Subscribe today to the Lakers Report. Let's talk more trade rumors here on the Lakers Report. How about a trade for Buddy Hield this offseason? Our good friends at Fanside had suggested that the Lakers should trade for Buddy Hield. Now, this has not been a new trade rumor, right? Buddy Hield has been connected to trade rumors since he's been in the league, which makes sense because he was traded like 30 games into his career, his rookie season, from the Pelicans to the Sacramento Kings. Now, what does Buddy Hield do? He's a catch-and-shoot three-point guy. He's improved as a ball handler, certainly, but that is his role, and that is what he would be with the Lakers. And, hey, LA could certainly use some upgraded shooting on the wing next to LeBron James and company. So, Fanside threw this idea out there. Buddy Hield to the Lakers for Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and this year's first-round pick. That's not nothing, right? I mean, top 25 pick, KCP, played a key role on the championship team a couple of years ago. And Kuzma, while he's been a stiff in the playoffs, he's still a young player with some talent. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I would at least pause at this one. Would you do this trade? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I probably would, but I'd rather not give up that first-round pick if I could avoid it. Now, Buddy Hield is a really good three-point shooter. The percentages overall, shooting-wise, have dipped a little bit this year, but the Kings are also a disaster, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. 39% from 3 is still more than good enough, and I think that field goal percentage would go up in L.A. because he wouldn't have to force as many bad shots. Throughout his career, he's been one of the better three-point shooters in the NBA going back to his rookie season. He's been 39 to 43% his entire career. Like 40% three-point shooter, that'll play in the NBA. That'll play with the Lakers. And he'll probably be more in that 42, 43% range playing with LeBron James, getting open looks because LeBron is arguably the best passer in the NBA. And like I said, Hield trade rumors haven't emerged for the first time here. Like they've been around for quite a while. Now, percentage-wise, you look at this and you're like, okay, the Lakers shot the ball well last year, but Marc Gasol didn't play that much, didn't shoot that many. KCP disappeared in the playoffs when it counts most. Caruso doesn't shoot a ton, does shoot it well when he does. McLemore was a guy they added late in the year. He didn't play a ton either. LeBron has been solid in recent years, 36, 38%. That's kind of where he is sat. But you need guys that are going to give you heavy minutes that can shoot a lot of threes. That's the thing about Buddy Hield. Not only does he shoot it well, he shoots it a lot. I mean, he shoots like 10 three-pointers a game. Like, this isn't a guy who's going 2 for 5 every single night. He's more like 4 for 9, 4 for 10. Like, that's what Buddy Hield does. He jacks up a bunch of threes. He'll miss a lot, but he'll make a lot. That's kind of the way it goes. The volume would probably go down a little bit in LA because he's playing with better talent around him. But, I mean, if he's going to give you 4 or 5 threes a night, like, that's something worth trading for, in my opinion. So I've always thought Buddy Hield would benefit playing in a more stable franchise. I don't like the fit with him in Sacramento, which is disappointing because I like De'Aaron Fox over there. But, hey, the Lakers, Buddy Hield could be more of a fallback trade option if they swing and miss on a guy like Damian Lillard or someone else this offseason. So I like this idea. We'll see what happens this offseason. Big things planned for you guys here on this show. So stay tuned because we'll have more videos just for you guys.